Good morning. Welcome to Small Talk Arkansas. This is Monday, March 30th, and it is 10:25 a.m. This is our maiden voyage. This is the first episode of the Small Talk Arkansas podcast.
It is. Welcome.
So let's get this thing started, guys. We're here at the Coronication Kitchen Table Studio.
It's lovely.
We're your host. I'm Jason Martin.
And I'm Tessa Wilmans.
And we're here. Tell Tess, why are we here?
We are here because we're staying the fuck home.
We're staying the fuck home.
We are.
That's an F-bomb in the first minute and a half of this show.
You know, really wanted to introduce myself to the folks.
Hey, for those that don't know you?
For those that don't know me as well.
Yep. Potty mouth.
It happens.
This one right here.
Sorry about it.
All right. Well, tell you a little bit about the show. The show's basically... We created it because we were bored out of our mind. Sitting at the house, we're both entrepreneurs, both small business owners here in the local area. And just like a lot of you, Coronication. We're at home, working from home, doing a lot less than we typically would do in a typical work day from a standpoint of, hey, the economy's dead. People aren't doing things. People aren't moving.
No, they're not. They can't.
And that's a good thing.
It is.
It's a good thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring you news on Coronication. We're going to bring you lots of news updates on the coronavirus and how it's affecting Arkansans, what's going on, and bring you some special guests from show to show that can help you try to deal with that a little bit better. So we're going to start the news segment. We're going to talk about realistically what's currently going on, what's the statistics in Arkansas for the coronavirus at this point in time.
Where are we today?
Where are we today? Well, in Arkansas, and I'm updating, refreshing.
We're getting the most up-to-date information.
Most up-to-date. So according to Arkansas, this is the Arkansas Department of Health, the statistics that they put out right now. There's 449 cases in Arkansas today, right now.
I think that's up a little bit from yesterday, maybe?
It's up a little bit from yesterday. I think we're going to continue to see climbs probably for the next 2 weeks for sure. I know, the federal government came out this morning and said they expect to, they've increased the stay-at-home social distancing till April 30th, where they had a shut-off previously at Easter. Mm-hmm. And now they've extended that, saying, hey, Easter was a little optimistic that we would be through this by that point in time, and we're probably looking at maybe it spiking that Easter week. So with that being said, I mean, there's been 6 deaths in Arkansas right now. When you look at the state as a whole, Pulaski County by far is our hot zone. We've got 94 cases in Pulaski County of positive. And so out of 449, obviously there's a lot of population in central Arkansas and Pulaski County, but by far the majority of those are in the Little Rock, North Little Rock metro area. So Pulaski County, that's the hot spot in Arkansas. I know we've been out and about a little bit, going back and forth to your business, to my business, grocery shopping a little bit. We've taken the dogs out on a few walks through this process or through this Coronication.
Yep. And we've seen some people not doing what they need to do.
A lot of people out. There are a lot of people out. A lot of people. I mean, we saw some people having a party, playing cards in the garage. I don't think being in the garage really makes a difference. I don't know. Saw a large group of children yesterday playing soccer, and from an aspect, yes, folks still need to do things, but it's not those children don't really have a large risk, even though there is a risk to children with coronavirus. Don't want to underplay that, but it's then they go back to see their parents, their grandparents,
right? Exactly.
Other loved ones.
They may not be affected by it, but they could affect someone else.
They definitely could. So I think those are some of the messages that we certainly need to continue to get out to the youth is the fact that, this probably isn't going to kill you. It's not going to kill, it's not going to kill most Americans.
Right.
By all means, there is, the death toll continues to go up every day. Right now, on a national level, there's 143,532 cases positive in the U.S. We are the international hotspot right now for the coronavirus. There's been 2,572 deaths to date in the U.S. So we've passed we've passed Italy, we've passed China. When you look at going back to Arkansas, and I'm looking at the data and looking at a map, and we'll show this to you guys, but when you look at Arkansas, other than Pulaski County, right around us, we've got Jefferson, which is kind of where this started. There's really 4 tiers in Arkansas from best to worst. Realistically, the rural markets or rural areas of Arkansas, a lot of those are still showing no positive tests right now. So that's good. Obviously, where there's more people, just like we're seeing with New York City, you're seeing much higher rapid expansion of this.
Right. Those denser populations.
So in the state of Arkansas, obviously Pulaski County is the epicenter. There's a little bit going on up into, in northwest Arkansas. But other than that, you've got Faulkner, you've got Claiborne counties.
You can definitely see Central Arkansas is kind of the hot spot for it. So we need to stay home.
Need to stay home, without a doubt. When you look at the U.S., it's really, really similar to that. It's a lot of there's a couple of outliers that you kind of see, but New I having the densest population, and New York is the world's hot spot right now. I mean, you look at the cases that are in the U.S., but if you take the states, and I'll put this map up for you guys as well, but there's kind of 4 tiers that each state falls in. Arkansas is realistically, we're tier 1. We're really right now, we are below 500 cases. Probably we'll go over that. Yeah, and then next 24 to 48 hours, we're probably going to go higher than that 500 cases. But that'll move us into that tier 2. But right now, we're really still tier 1. New York City is the epicenter of the world internationally right now. New York has over 59,000, almost 60,000 cases.
Wow.
Of coronavirus, from a positive standpoint. They've also had 965 deaths already.
Wow.
So
that's more cases than we have.
That's more cases than we have in deaths. They've had more deaths than we've had positive cases. So, that goes to, I don't know, we tend to, you look at other states around us, you look at Texas, 2,600 cases, 37 deaths. Louisiana, just over 3,500 cases.
Right.
Louisiana is such a smaller state.
But huge hotspot. All those travelers.
All the travelers came in for Mardi Gras. A lot of them brought it with them. A lot of them left it there. It was a lot of close, people in a proximity, not really
having a good time.
Not really caring about what's going on. But, that reflects. I mean, when you look at, there's been over 3,500 positive cases in Louisiana with 151 deaths.
Yeah.
So it's 5 times the number of deaths that Texas has.
Wow. When you put it like that.
When you go, hey, this little bitty state that the whole population of the entire state doesn't equal Houston,
right?
Or probably doesn't equal the population of Dallas, even,
right?
The DFW metro area. So from a standpoint ouch. And Louisiana, there's a lot of rural area there, just like there is in Arkansas, where there's not a lot of population. So this means when you look at those epicenters, the New Orleans area, you're seeing this just blast through an area in a very short period of time. You know that the healthcare workers there have got to be...
They are stressed,
overworked. So, around us, Arkansas right now still doing pretty well. Mississippi has moved up to a kind of a stage 2 state. Tennessee is a stage 3 state. Missouri, stage 2. Oklahoma and Arkansas really,
we're
as far as
neck and neck, right?
Bordering states, we're really neck and neck. And there's a lot of similarities in the state where they've got kind of Tulsa and Oklahoma City, heavy populated areas, and then the rest of the state's pretty rural. Arkansas, it's kind of got the central Arkansas and the northwest Arkansas. We've got Jonesboro in the northeast. And Oklahoma has a lot of those types of smaller communities as well that are a little bit more populated, but not quite rural. So we're still stage 1, but, Missouri, of course, you've got Kansas City, you've got St. Louis, bigger, heavily populated areas.
Bigger cities.
Kansas City's a stage 2. You've got Mississippi, which is odd that it's a stage 2, other than the fact that, the news out is that so many people from Mississippi did go to Louisiana.
Oh, they traveled.
For Mardi Gras.
They traveled. And what about that spring break? I mean, Mississippi's got some beaches too and some kind of travel hot spots down there.
They do.
A little bit.
Do. So, the moral of the story here, guys, is we're all in this together. It is Coronication. And if you don't have to be out, if it's not something that you have to get out and do, if you're not having to get out and go buy food, if you're not having to take care of loved ones, if you don't have to work, find a way to stay inside, find a way to be isolated.
Absolutely. I mean, do I need to say it again?
Yes.
Stay the fuck home, guys.
Stay the fuck home.
It's true. Do it.
Isolate. So in other news, state-related, and we'll touch on this for just a moment, we do have a special guest today. We've got Jenny Caldwell, who's a local therapist. She's a healthcare counselor, and she's going to give us some tips on
how to stay sane.
How to stay sane
while we're isolating.
That are isolating.
Yeah.
It's funny. I saw something earlier today. It was a story that was done, a national story. It was a guy that's worked from home for 22 years. And he's like, this is nothing, guys. Yeah, this is nothing.
He's like, I got this. This is so simple.
He's kind of like, I own isolation. So there we go.
But we're not all like that.
We're not all like that.
Humans are social creatures. We got to know how to deal with this.
So unfortunately, there's some more bad news that's come up in the state. Saturday night, Jonesboro was hit by, it's been confirmed now, it was an EF3 tornado.
Oh, man.
So on top of coronavirus, isolation, all of these
this
things,
stuff, we've got a freaking tornado.
We've got tornadoes.
And a lot of damage. I hear
it's
a lot.
That
it's
time of the year. Destroyed many homes, businesses. There were 22 people injured. Bright side of this is very, very few, if any, critical injuries. I don't believe that there's any today that were critical.
I saw some footage of that tornado. Oh,
no deaths.
Scary.
No deaths.
That's
when you
amazing.
look at that and you go, look at all the destruction that was there, and there was no deaths. So, we're as Arkansas, as Arkansans, we do have these tornadoes come through. We've had them year after year. If you've lived here for any period of time, they've probably affected you or a loved one at some point in time. Right. And we kind of band together at that point of time and help each other out. But
as we should,
guys, in this situation, I get it. You still want to make sure social distancing, that you're practicing social distancing. If you're out there helping pick up, help clean up. If you're doing things,
send funds if you can. Let's get the right people in the right places there when they need to be.
Absolutely, and we can put a link in the comments below. Some places that we find right now that whether it's the Red Cross or other organizations that may be local organizations that are on the ground there right now and getting involved.
We need to leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, Governor Hutchinson has declared Jonesboro as a state disaster, and he's called in looking for federal assistance already.
Good.
So those are good things.
He's on top of it lately.
Yes. So that's all the time we've got for the news today. We're going to transition on.
Right. If you are liking what you hear so far, you should totally help us out and subscribe to our channel.
Please subscribe to the channel.
Please.
Our sponsor, we do have a show sponsor today, and it's Tree of Life Seeds. And I don't know if you're familiar with CBD. Probably are.
I'm just going to take a little sip out of my mug right now.
Get some of that CBD infused tea right there as you bang the microphone.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I'm new here. Did I mention that?
Oh, yeah. This is our first show.
It's our first show.
Hey, so first show. We'll get better at this.
Yeah, we will.
If you like what you see, thumbs up. If you don't like what you see,
don't
thumbs
say
up.
so. Yeah.
We like thumbs up. We'll get better at this, but we'll continue to provide.
Be
you
patient
guys
in the meantime.
what you're looking for. Yeah. So show sponsor today is a local company, Tree of Life Seeds. They produce a CBD product. They have a whole catalog of products. They're all manufactured here in the United States, or actually in Arkansas.
Right.
So they are an Arkansas-based company. They've been in business since 2015. They do CBD right.
They do. They absolutely do.
So there's a lot of CBD companies out there, guys. A lot of trash that's available.
Don't get your CBD at the gas station.
Friends don't let friends buy CBD at gas stations.
It's not right.
It's not right.
Don't do it.
So Tree of Life Seeds has been kind enough to give us a promo code. You can go over to the website, treeoflifeseeds.com, and make yourself a purchase. Put in the promo code Small Talk Arkansas.
I think you get a little deal, huh?
Small Talk Arkansas. You'll save 10% off of your purchase.
Oh, very nice.
So, anxiety's got you down right now. You're anxious about what's going on. You're anxious about finances. You're anxious because you've got kids at home that are typically at school while you're at work.
You got to teach them. You got to feed them.
You got
to take them for a walk.
All of these things. Put collars on them.
Yeah.
Take them around the neighborhood for a walk.
Isn't that how it's done?
Not a mom. Not a mom. So these are the things that could drive up someone's anxiety right now more than ever. Over and above that, you've got people. It's tough to sleep right now. Sleeping is a premium, and CBD is proven to help with all of those things. So check out treeoflifeseeds.com. Go purchase some CBD. Got everything from topicals for your pain, joints, muscles, to oral things that you can take to help work.
My favorite product is the Rest. I love that.
The Rest.
Oh.
It's got 25 milligrams of CBD, 1 milligram of melatonin, and 1 milligram of chamomile.
You sleep like a baby.
You sleep like a baby. It definitely gets you there when you need to be. But go to treeoflifeseeds.com today and use the promo code SmallTalkArkansas, and you'll get a 10% discount. And we'll put a link for that in the comments or the description below. Right now, we're going to go to part of our show where we've got our special guest.
Yes, our very special guest, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to
give her a buzz.
Is she going to give us a buzz? She's buzzing in.
All right, Jenny, where are you? There she is. Good
morning, Jenny.
Hey,
Jenny. How are you?
We're great.
Hey, Tess. Hey, Jason. I'm good.
Hey, are you social distancing?
I am social distancing, and it's really hard for an extrovert, I'll be honest.
It is, isn't it? It really is.
Yes.
So, Jenny, you're a therapist. You're a local mental health counselor, the local area here in Arkansas. What are you seeing right now from a mental health standpoint? And let me back up. You introduce yourself.
Yeah, tell us about you.
Oh, okay. I am a social worker. I'm a LCSW. I've been in private practice for several years, but I've been a practicing social worker for 20. I can't believe it, since I'm only 25. I practice in Maumelle. General practice. I see a lot of depression and anxiety, women's issues, divorce, blended family, co-parenting, grief.
All the things.
All the stuff. But what I'm seeing right now is an increase in anxiety.
Right.
Depression and anxiety. My take is whatever you're already struggling with is going to be amplified during that time.
Right.
If it's anxiety, you're going to be more anxious. If you're depressed, you're going to be more depressed. If you were already socially isolated, you're more socially isolated.
Oh, if you're OCD, I bet you're more OCD too.
Yes. If you have a hard time raising children with your previous spouse, it's totally amplified during this time. So everything is kicked up a notch.
Well, what suggestions do you have for people that are dealing with these amplified issues?
So, I like the saying, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. And I think that could not be more applicable right now.
That's perfect.
It's true.
It is.
There's, I think first, we need to look at what do we have control over and what do we not. Because I always say the things that, it's not the things that we have control over that make us feel crazy. It's the things that we feel like we don't have control over. And there's so much right now we don't have control over.
You're so right.
What I think what I've been telling people over and over is, we are all in this together. So, we all have bills to pay. We all should be, everybody's life has flipped, turned upside down. That's a Fresh Prince reference there, isn't it?
I think
Are we
so.
headed to Bel Air?
Yeah, we are.
And so, we're all in this together. So it's not only be aware of that in your own situation, but be aware of that for others as you're thinking about others, whether, that's somebody that needs money, somebody that, can't pay their bills right now because they're not working. I saw this thing this morning. I guess the government's, the checks that they're sending out, we're going to have those in about 3 weeks. Did you hear that, Jenny?
I did.
So, we've been talking about this for 3 weeks already, and now it's still 3 weeks away. That makes it really tough for a lot of Americans, especially when they're now isolated. They've got their kids at home. They're not used to, feeding their kids 3 meals a day. Lots of
in my house, I have 4, and I'm telling you, I'm like, where did this appetite come from? But I know some of the things we can do, even though we're socially isolated, we can still stay connected.
Absolutely,
and we can phone calls, sending the cards, emails, video chat.
Yeah.
I've seen people like walking by. I didn't know who my neighbors were, I'll be honest. But there are ways we can stay connected. Like the 3 of us are healthy. If somebody needs something, I can go drop it off on a front porch.
It's true.
I know in Maumelle we have a little mailbox. It's like a little container where people drop food off, and people can come by and get food. We have the same thing for books. It is. It's really cool.
I've seen
you can also do the same thing for books. Right. The
Those
little
are so
library.
cool.
We have a little food thing. Yes. I had to get out yesterday, and there was actually toilet paper at the Dollar General, and I almost bought all the toilet paper and thought, I could stock this and because people are looking for it and drop it off for them.
Right.
There are things we can do. I think part of the thing is we have to stay informed with what's going on right now with the coronavirus, but not be obsessive. And it's really hard. Not often we check our social media on the news and step away for a little bit if we're overwhelmed.
Right. Get out in some nature. We've done that.
Right. One thing I've done, and Tessie and I have talked about this, I got up today and put myself on a schedule. I got up, I fixed my hair, I put on my makeup, I got dressed. Granted, I'm at home doing telehealth sessions.
But it makes you feel a little bit better, though, right?
It does. My mom used to say, Jennifer, you'll feel so much better if you put on your makeup and fix your hair.
Girl, I did the same thing today. I was like, oh, okay, hey, hello, you. You're still in there.
So you both put on makeup for this show today, right?
Yeah, we did.
Right, but nobody's seeing us. But, it's just for the normalcy. And
it is.
I think that we can't let the coronavirus dominate every thought and conversation.
You're right. Life is still, it may be a little bit on pause, but it still goes on.
We've got to employ deep breathing. And I think when we're starting to have the anxiety, one of the things we always say is find something to focus on. Look at something, listen for a sound, deep breathe, find a smell, and touch.
Yeah.
Really basic things that can ground us. They're also offering all sorts of free meditation apps. Like the Calm app is free right now. There are so many guided meditations that are free right now.
That's so
cool. If you just search your app store.
So somebody during this period of time could really do some inner reflection on their lives. They could figure out maybe the things that they thought was important to them. Maybe those things have changed now because life has changed.
100%, Jason.
A little inner reflection. I woke up one morning and said, "Crap, we're going to start a podcast."
And here we are.
Here
we are.
So,
Oh,
there's other things that we can do to fill our time, maybe some other talents or some other things that we desire to do that we can, spend those time on right now.
I've seen people taking up painting
Painting.
and all. Yeah, painting, creative pursuits. We've got a little extra time on our hands. That's also kind of therapeutic.
oh, I have a stack of books. I'm doing a lot of continuing education that's really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I'm working on projects I haven't gotten done. And let's be honest, with 4 kids and all of their activities, we were the family going from activity to activity and driving through Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. But, taking up cooking again. We're doing family meals again. I think people are going back to the core values and the core things that we did growing up.
Right.
I've seen that a lot. Went in and grabbed lunch yesterday. I did the safe thing, called it in, went and picked it up. We did a Firehouse Subs day yesterday for lunch, and I asked the guys in Firehouse Subs, and I said, "Hey guys, how's business? How's business been since this?" And realistically, he said it absolutely sucks. And you take a business like that was already built for takeout, that already had takeout customers, that's a takeout business. And for him to go, this has killed our business, opposed to all these sit down restaurants, it really tells the story that people are eating at home. They're making their own food. They're going back to cooking and spending time, maybe with their loved ones, over a meal, like happened in our childhood, Jenny, since we're both 25.
Right, exactly. It is. We've spent time outside with the kids. We did board games. I've seen the kids upstairs more, just sitting upstairs with us, talking more, interacting more. And I don't know that those are necessarily bad things, because I think that we've just gotten so plugged in, tuned out, and just busy.
Yeah, I think that's one thing for sure. I mean, our lives in today's society, I mean, with social media, with all of our kids' events, with all of our own events, with everything, people, we're told now as Americans that you're not good enough if you have one job. You need to have a full-time job that you're working 40 to 60 hours a week at.
You need a side hustle.
But then you need a side hustle, you need a second side hustle, and then you need to have 5 or 6 other places that you're volunteering your time.
Right. It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
I want to touch base on a couple of other things really quickly. One thing, we really need to reach out to our friends that we know are struggling, those that are alone.
Yep, you're right.
Those that we know have a propensity to be depressed. I'm really concerned about those in the recovery community.
Yeah.
There are online meetings, guys. If you need resources, reach out to me. Google it. There are lots of online meetings for your 12-step meetings.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Put some links in the show notes, which we can get those from you and make that happen.
Well, now we can have cocktails delivered, and we can have alcohol delivered, and and you add that with people that are in recovery, or people that are struggling in our depression and our anxiety. Right, those that are vulnerable. We just have to be aware, but know that there's still help out there.